Hello, my name is Samantha Simpson, and I will be demonstrating how to make blueberry muffins. The first thing you need to do is make sure you wash your hands, which I have already done. The second thing is you need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. According to the Martha White Blueberry Muffin Mix, it says to heat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Depending on what muffin mix you get, it might be a different temperature. So, the first thing you need to do is to prepare your materials and gather your ingredients together while the oven is heating up. Your materials will be a large mixing bowl and a spoon, a measuring cup, a muffin pan with paper baking cups, and a mixer. So then, you will need to gather your ingredients. The only thing, according to this muffin mix, that you will need is blueberry muffin mix and 1/2 cups of milk. So, first you get your large mixing bowl and you pour in your muffin mix. You want to get a large enough bowl so when you go to mix, it will not make a mess and have to switch bowls. You also want to do this around a sink so you make sure you do not make such a big mess because the mixer can get messy. So after you pour in your muffin mix, you pour in 1/2 cup of milk. You will want to measure the milk to make sure you get the right amount so that your muffins won't be either too hard or too gooey. So you pour it in all the way up to the half mark. Okay, and that's right. Then pour it in. I always mix my muffin mix a little bit more before I start to mix, just so it doesn't make a mess, but you don't have to. And then you take your mixer, and first you want to put it on the lowest setting before you start mixing it a lot. You want to put it on about 1 and then move it back up to 6 so you don't make a mess. After it's done mixing, you put it to the side and you can get your spoon and make sure that there's no lumps in your mix, because if there is, the muffins will not turn out very well. You just mix it up. And then you get your baking pan. And this package of blueberry muffins makes about 18 mini muffins. But with a regular pan, you can make about 6, because the muffin mix, the serving size is 1/2 cup of mix, but one package is 3 servings. So every 1/2 cup of mix makes 2 muffins, just depending on how much muffin mix that you would like to buy. So then, if you do not have paper baking cups, as I've said, you can use spray. I've put 6 in this pan. And then you just carefully pour your mix. You want to fill it up about 1/3 the way full, because your muffins will rise a lot in the oven. And you want to be as clean with it as possible and not get mix all over the pan. It takes the oven about 10 to 15 minutes to heat up. The package says to make about 6 muffins, but sometimes it can make more. It's just depending on how small or how big you want each muffin to turn out. It's just depending on your taste. So I have a little bit of extra mix. So I can add some extra baking cups into the pan. I'll add about 3 to see if that's enough. You want to scrape the bowl all the way through so you make sure you get all the ingredients. You don't want to waste any of your mix. It kind of gets messy, so you'll have to clean up your pan a little bit. You can probably fit about 1 more. Sometimes you can't really go by the package. It's just however you like the muffins, of how thick. Okay. And then you can take a dish rag and wipe off your muffin pan just so you won't make a mess. There we go. And then you have your muffins. And after the oven has heated up, which it has had plenty of time to heat up, you bake at 400 for 14 to 16 minutes. Then after you put them in the oven, it normally takes around 10 minutes. You want to start checking it. And when they're golden brown on the top, you want to take them out. But first you can put in a toothpick or a fork to make sure they're done. If you stick the toothpick in the muffin and it's gooey, you can add it back for about 5 minutes to see how much longer you need to bake it. It doesn't take too long, so you want to make sure that you don't burn your muffins. And after that, you just clean up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.